Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Venus and I'm a music therapist in Sydney. Today I want to show you how I use Notion to improve my mental health, not just from a therapist perspective, but also as a user, student, new grad, whatever. Because everyone's life is constantly changing and you have different identities and roles. That's why I want to show you what works for me and how it might help you as well. In the past 2 years, I was a full-time master degree student with some casual job going on, and being in a pandemic is really tough. I get it. That's why it's time to prioritize our mental health. I've been using Notion since early 2020, and it's been a game changer. It's not just my note-taking system, but also knowledge management, productivity, client management, relationship management, and also my content creation schedule thingy. Yeah, it's everything. And not only that, I also use Notion to manage my mental health. That's why today I want to show you all the templates that I use, how I developed my own templates for managing my own mental health in my mental health journey. So let's get started. So the first thing that really helped improve my mental health is journaling. No surprise, I've talked about that many times in other videos as well, but let's look at how that really helped me on Notion. Welcome to my pensive. What is a pensive? According to Professor Dumbledore, he said, I sometimes find, and I'm sure you know the feeling, that I simply have too many thoughts and memories crammed into my mind. It becomes easier to spot patterns and links, you understand, when they are in this form. So he was introducing his pensive to Harry, which he literally just took his memory out from his brain and dropped into the pensive, which is a stone basin, basically. And I found his explanation really clear and precise. That's why I want to include that in this video. And it becomes really easy for you to spot your patterns and triggers and behaviors when you do your daily journaling. This has really helped me. If I need to contribute one thing that really helped improve my mental health, this would be it, journaling. I think Notion is really the pensive for my goals. So let's look at how I use Notion to do daily journaling. So you can have a copy of this template in the link in the description box below. I've actually talked about this in another video, which I have a more detailed walkthrough, but if you want to take a look, it has like so many different prompts and different sections. But the main point is you don't need to overcomplicate it. It's just like brain dumbing or sometimes using bullet points, because you don't need to write an essay or you don't need to like describe how you really feel if you don't want to. Yeah, because like putting down main points will be enough for you to really take the thought out, lay it out, and then you can see what you're thinking. I usually do this part in the morning so that I have like a clear intention of what I want to do, and then during the day what happened, and then I'll have a little reflection and gratitude as well. Because later on when you look back, you will spot different patterns. For example, you are always angry a few days before your period, or you always want to leash out your anger to people who are close to you when you have a bad day at work, something like that. But when you are actually in the day, you might not realize it. So I think it's a really helpful exercise. And gratitude is a big thing. That's why you want to practice and strengthen that muscle every single day, which I incorporate that in the daily journaling template as well. So if you want to know more about how I journal, check out the video in the link in the description box or here or here. The next Notion template I'm going to show you is called a thought record. This is an exercise that I did with my therapist last year until this year, but I'm not very good at keeping up with my homework. But this is a useful CBT exercise. CBT means cognitive behavioral therapy, and they have a very famous framework, which I'll put here, which basically outlines a cycle that your thoughts and your feelings and your behaviors are all interrelated. So if you change one of them, the others will change accordingly. For example, if you receive a bad piece of news, you will start having negative thoughts about your future, and then you start feeling anxious or depressed, which might make you make weird decisions or just act strangely. That's why referencing back to the journaling exercise, I think it's so important to keep thinking about why we think or act like that, and try to interrogate everything that we think, feel, and do. So let's look at the thought record. I think this is a template from Psychology Tools, but I just do that in Notion form. That's why I can easily access it during therapy and during whenever I need to do my thought record. Yeah, but like basically is a form that you want to put in the day and then describe the situation. For example, in mid-September, I was in lockdown for like more than 2 months already, and then I haven't got my placement. That's why I felt a little bit anxious, annoyed, sad, and then you will rate that feeling out of 10, like how strong are you feeling that particular emotion, and then like what kind of negative or automatic thoughts that you have. For me, it was like the world is driving me mad, like I'm staying at home, I'm being stuck, and then my whole life is okay. That was interesting looking back now. Anyway, the next thing is a thinking pattern. So what kind of thinking pattern is derived from those negative thoughts? For example, it's like, because I feel stuck, and then the thinking pattern will be like, oh, I'm not capable of doing anything, maybe I can't even graduate. So that's like a loop. But then the next part is the important part, that you want to have an alternate thought to challenge the previous thought. So for me, it might be that, okay, now I have more time at home. This might be the time to like work on my business, work on other homework and self-care, and build other routines. And then you would rate this new belief, like out of 10, how much do you actually believe in that? If you don't, then you might try to come up with other alternate thoughts. Yeah, because like in most cases, the situation is something that is not under your control, but your emotions and your thoughts and what you want to do about it matters, right? That's why changing perspectives is such a powerful exercise to do. Just like gratitude, like the situation is the same, but you can try looking at things from different angles, and that will change the whole outlook, basically. At first, I was not very consistent with doing this homework because I've been journaling already, and I don't want to repeat that, but I can see how useful it is, and I've been doing that like maybe once a week or something. Like when I felt a particular strong emotion, that I would write that down and share with my therapist. So you can also copy the link of this thought record for your own reference. Mental health improvement is a continuous journey. That's why you need to keep track of what you're doing, double down on what works, and ditch what doesn't work. And we all know that mental health and physical health are related, right? If you don't get enough sleep, and then you get moody, and then you get tired, right? That's why they are all related. And for this reason, I've been using Notion extensively to track all my habits. Not just how often do I meditate, but also how much water do I drink? Do I walk 10k steps every single day? Do I have my workout? Do I have my supplements every single day? That kind of thing. I track all of them on Notion. I used to do that on pen and paper, but that didn't serve my purpose anymore. So I've been using that on Notion, and then you can like have this kind of sum up function at the bottom of the table to see how you've done in 1 month. So for example, let's look at April for me. I've not been walking a lot, I think, only 19 days out of 30. But you can see how you go. And there is a quote that says, I think, what you focus on expands. That's why if you really want to prioritize your health, you need to keep track of what you're doing. If I look at my graph for April, I might look at my journal on the 9th and the 10th to see why I haven't made the 10k steps. And then I might spot some patterns, like maybe I'm not in a good mood, that's why I don't feel like walking, or I haven't left my home for no reason. That's why you can see like everything is interrelated. And human beings are all creatures of habits. That's why don't underestimate what you do in a single day. Just keep trusting the process and do your baby steps. If you start going to gym today, you're not going to see results tomorrow, right? That's why you need to keep doing that. Believe in consistency and the power of compound interest. And you also want to be intentional and mindful about what habits that you're building. Some might not serve your goal anymore, so you need to keep updating that and keep track of everything that you do. And the next one is to create a favorite list on Notion. So let's check this out. So I have created a favorite list of everything that I like, from articles, books, newsletters, videos, mental models, quotes, music, movies, podcasts, activity, life hacks, and whatever. Because in terms of chaos and uncertainties, we all need something to hold on to, like an anchor. And for me, the best thing to do is to do your favorite things. For example, whenever I feel upset or moody or don't feel like doing anything, I would just rewatch Harry Potter with my favorite hot chocolate. This is what I do to make myself feel better. And this can be kind of self-care activity as well. But having a list of all your favorite things to do, to watch, whatever, will make you feel like you're safe. We all need a safe space and a sense of security whenever we are in chaos and uncertainties. This has been quite helpful for me because it's handy and Notion is very accessible. I can always pull out the list and just do whatever I feel like in that moment. So this is something that worked for me. Maybe you can create your own favorite list as well, because just remember that we all need time to chill and unplug. This is part of self-care. And the last one is for emergency situations. For example, when you're having a panic attack or something like that, it's handy to have something that is accessible to calm you down immediately. Let's check out this SOS Pack. So I've created this list whenever I feel overwhelmed or annoyed or just having those kind of weird sensations in my body and in my mind. So I have like a physical check-in section here to kind of see how I'm feeling right now, because your body reactions reflects what you're feeling inside. So check in with yourself often. This is something that I learned from therapy, and at first I found it really weird when my therapist asked me how I'm feeling. Like, for example, am I sweating? Am I feeling like a weird tightening sensation in my stomach? And then I sometimes just couldn't explain, but then he helped me to be more aware of my body sensations, because that reflected how I was feeling inside. And I'm someone who is very bad at naming my emotions, but that really helped me. That's why we have this physical check-in session here, just to see how you're feeling, because there might be certain symptoms that you experience when you are in panic attack or when you feel anxious. So check in with yourself. This is the first step. And then the next part is for an emotional check-in. So are you feeling overwhelmed, stressed, fearful, anxious, etc.? You can add or subtract on this list as you wish. And then the next part, after you've checked in with yourself, it's time to regulate your moods and bring you back to like a normal level. That's why I have this comfort list here. This is kind of like the favorite list that we have just done. You can put in whatever helped you in the past, but for me, a few things are ice pack, progressive muscle relaxation. This is something I learned from therapy. I'm not a big fan of it, but I just put it here to remind myself that this is an option. And I have like this mindfulness exercise, because when you focus on the present moment, your mind has no space for worries. This will calm you down. And also deep breathing, and you can put in other playlists or soundtracks that help you regulate your emotions. For me, I'm using my own handpan meditation soundtracks, which you can have a look, because I've created 5 tracks for 5 different scenarios for your everyday situation. If you want to practice gratitude, want to find your focus, or have some kind of SOS emergency situation like the one that we're describing now, there's always one soundtrack for you. Check it out if you're interested. So that sums up the 5 ways that I use Notion to improve my mental health. Is there anything you want to add or comment on? Let me know in the comment section below. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.